Now, this story leads this hour. About 60,000 global citizens are gathered in Central Park in New York for the Global Citizen Festival, where the legacy of Nelson Mandela is being honored in his centenary year. South African businessman Patrice Motsepe, his wife Dr. Precious Moloi-Motsepe, ministers Lindiwe, Sisulu and Radebe are expected to appear on the stage alongside world leaders, musical artists and activists. Our US correspondent Sherwin Bryce-Pease is also there.
Thanks so very much indeed, and we are coming to you live from the red carpet at the Global Citizen Festival, and hoping in just a moment to speak with the founder and CEO, Hugh Evans, and I'm going to ask Aaron just to move his camera across. You'll see them talking to some other media over there. Also among the celebrities here are the hosts, Hugh Jackman and his wife Deborah Lee Furness. So hopefully within the next couple of minutes they'll walk them over to us here for our little chat with the SABC. But you correctly point out that the focus here is certainly on the citizenry responsibility in terms of the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals and the example that Nelson Mandela presented to the world. Of course, a big day, a big week for the South African delegation at the UN General Assembly this week, the unveiling of that statue, and really the legacy and example of Radebe trying to enthuse young citizens. You know, some 60,000 people expected here at this event, but not to forget that this is a precursor to the FNB Stadium Global Citizen Festival that is being brought to South Africa by the Motsepe Foundation. Of course, that big announcement coming a few months ago, and the focus there, of course, part of the celebration of Nelson Mandela's centenary. We are going to hear from the likes of Lindiwe Sisulu on stage today. Radebe is in town. Phumzile Mlambo Nguka, the executive director of UN Women, to talk about the work that they are doing and the legacy that Nelson Mandela presents in terms of women's empowerment, in terms of eradicating poverty, in terms of peace in the world. South Africa really channeling the example of Radebe ahead of their bid, their entry into the UN Security Council on the 1st of January. And let's not take away from some of the entertainment here. You know, if you want to appeal to the youth of this millennium, you want to use music, you want to use celebrity, you want to use social media. Janet Jackson is here, Shawn Mendes is here. I know that some of the presenters and hosts will include the likes of Naomi Campbell, and these are the types of people that draw an audience. These are not paid for tickets. People have to go onto a social media, they have to download the app, and they have to do stuff that is going to change the world for the better. So a great deal of activity here, Sim. I'm sure you wouldn't be mind standing next to me on this red carpet.
Well, most definitely. Just take us through what exactly is aimed at achieving this particular festival.
The festival, Simpiwe, was started in the global poverty eradication. I think that was the name of the company, and their focus has been the eradication of poverty. And now what you see is the symbiosis between the work of the United Nations in terms of the SDGs. Goal 1 of the SDGs is eradicating poverty. And so what they are trying to do, yes, you have the likes of Cyril Ramaphosa and Donald Trump and Emerson Mnangagwa speaking about these issues at the United Nations this week, but they don't necessarily appeal to the majority of people around the world. I don't think people under the age of 18 necessarily tune in to watch the UN General Assembly, certainly not as much as perhaps. And the point of a festival like this is to take the message that happened down the street a couple of days ago, because celebrity is here, Janet Jackson is here, Naomi Campbell is here, Shawn Mendes is here, and have them speak directly to this global audience. This is also going to be streamed live around the world, so you suddenly are reaching a much vaster audience that perhaps the United Nations might have been able to do on its own. So celebrity and social responsibility coming together here at the Great Lawn at Central Park in Manhattan, New York.
Well, Sherwin, your line is not the greatest. We'll certainly touch base with you a little later on as the festival gets underway. I hope the technicalities would have been sorted by then. But then thank you so much for joining us. That is our correspondent, Sherwin.